Welcome, everybody, to episode 179 of the Geek Dad Report, the one show dedicated, formulated, specially created, and to bring you guys all the nerd news you need to know, all while putting a little smile on your face. I'm Brian, the hostess with the absolute mostest.
And I'm Ryan, the other guy.
The other guy. I'm going to get you a shirt that says, The Other Guy.
Yeah. I like to go for that Jon Snow, like where you have your actual title and I just say...
Wait, did you just compare yourself to Jon Snow?
Yeah, I'll be Jon Snow, you can be Daenerys. You would be the one that would just burn and torch everybody. Well, I just stood there and had to stab you in the heart because you went crazy.
Listen, while I am undoubtedly way more metal, so I would have like a sweet dragon, and you'd probably just sit at a wall and like brood. Yeah. How the hell do you think you're Jon Snow? Number one, you have no sword. Number two, you have no luscious locks. And number three, your beard is not nearly Jon Snow beard. I mean, you're like...
Here, look.
You're more like John Dingle Snow.
John Dingle Snow?
Yeah, because, like, you got, like, little dingles all on your face. Like, you look like the back end of a large man's hairy ass is what...
I can't grow anything over here or over here.
Right.
But I can grow a goatee if I wanted to. That's it.
Jon Snow.
Someday I'm going to be a real man, Brian. And I'll
What? He's got to make 3 wishes? You got to find a fairy?
Yeah, maybe.
A fairy godmother that'll... Oh, dude, what are you doing? It's a family show.
Chest hair.
Put your nipples away.
I'm going to have chest hair.
God, if we were on Instagram, we'd be banned. What's wrong with you?
No,
you have no chest hair, dude. Look at this. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. See, I got nothing.
Well,
nothing. I could show like maybe partial.
Put it away.
We're gonna get this ban on YouTube, but it's male nipples. You can show boy nipples.
Forget YouTube. I'm gonna ban you. This is disgusting.
You're banning.
Yeah.
I think the episode that I show nipples is probably going to be our highest watch.
No, I'm going to ban you because you think you're Jon Snow. I mean, come on, get out of here. You clearly Bran the Broken, king of the 6 kingdoms.
But I'm just going to sit around, stare and fire, and smoke pot, basically.
You know what? Maybe that's what he did. Is that what happened to him? Is that like the director's outtakes?
I think he just became a giant pot smoker, and that's why he just like...
He went deep into the woods. Yeah. He found himself some trees, and... He's really hitting that Warwood tree network. Yeah,
he figured out that you could smoke the bark off the heart tree, and
he's getting a dime bag. He's just like, "Oh, so I'm here to be king. What's happened, dude? There's dragons and like zombies. What? I just thought it was hitting the good shit.
Yeah,
whatever.
Oh, by the way, Game of Thrones spoilers.
Yeah. A little late for that. Listen, dude, like 20 million people watched it live, which for like a cable network is insanity.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even like go and factor into all the people with bootleg like HBO passwords. Which, side note, I found it hilarious that cancel HBO was trending after the episode because all these people were grandstanding talking about how much they hated the season finale. And I was thinking to myself, like, you know what? If you want to cancel HBO, just call me and tell me to change my password, you mooching sons of bitches, because I guarantee you 90% of the people who hated that show borrowed somebody else's password. Weren't even paying for it. Bunch of losers.
Yeah, I wonder how many of those people were actually paying for it. That makes
like I bet you 20% of the people mad paid for it.
Yeah.
Moochers. All moochers.
Dude, I get mine for like through my cable subscription, my TV. So
of all the people I know who I talk to about Game of Thrones, 3 of them pay for HBO.
Really?
Yes. 3.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, don't you get HBO for me?
See, that's what happens. You don't pay for it, so you don't value it.
So you just complain, whatever. I thought that was pretty funny, and people are like, "We're gonna show HBO." I'm like, "Show them what? You're not even paying for HBO, you bunch of losers."
I'm gonna change my password, and you can't watch Chernobyl now.
Dirty, filthy moochers, probably still at home, stealing your mom's cable. What's wrong with you people? Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, that's right.
We're geek dads, and that we like to talk about nerdy stuff.
Yeah, that's what we got. That's what we're gonna do on the show today. If you're new to the show, guess what? We got a big, awesome, fun. Why do I keep doing the Chris Farley like? I don't know. I got lots of energy tonight. I don't know what to do with my hands. I was gonna put them.
You had a very relaxing weekend, to what I understand. So you got all that stored up.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't have a show last week. We did our Game of Thrones finale, and we haven't had a proper Geek Dad Report in a little while. So I'm just excited. But yeah, we got a big show. We got a lot of news. We got 2 weeks worth of stuff, which surprisingly isn't that much news. But what we do got is some good news.
We've had in the last month.
We're gonna hit all the big ticket items. We're gonna talk about the Star Wars, the War in the Stars. Ooh. We're gonna talk about what is some other stuff. None of that really matters though, because we're gonna talk a lot about Star Wars.
There's a lot of trailers.
There's a lot. That's true. There's a lot of trailers. Unfortunately, no new Star Wars trailers, but
that won't be happening anytime soon.
We did get some cool new trailers. We're going to talk about that. We got some great questions from the Faithful 50, and we got a couple of killer weekly recommendations. I'm going to say that I'm going to go so far to be so bold to say that my recommendation is nuclear. That is how.
Ooh.
That is how big it is.
I'm going to say my recommendation is very AOC. Because she's from Brooklyn. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything.
Isn't that like her initials? I don't think it has anything to do with her being from Brooklyn.
Yeah. You had a good one, and so it put me on the spot to try and come up with something, and you suck. So
you failed. This is why I guess you are Jon Snow, Ryan, because you know nothing.
I hope that makes you feel better, Brian.
I always feel good.
You always feel good.
It's because I don't wear pants.
I'm not wearing pants.
Anyway, before we get this shit show started, Ryan, how was your Memorial Day weekend?
I think we have burned through our allotted time of introduction.
Oh, okay, so we aren't talking about Memorial Day weekend. Whatever, good. You know what? I don't want to talk about it anyway, because all I did was let my kids play with other kids and day drink for 3 days straight. I don't even remember my Memorial Day weekend, so it's probably for the best that we don't talk about it.
Yeah, all I did was yard work and yelling at my kids for, not getting out in the yard and doing all this stuff that they were supposed to be doing.
Well, my Memorial Day sounds infinitely better than yours.
Yeah, it was. I can't argue.
You know what? The more I think about it,
a coworker's party, and he's deploying to Kuwait for like 8 months. So that was a fun party, at least. So
well, that's good.
But no, not Kuwait sucks.
Well, I mean, I've heard it's very nice, except for all the, other stuff.
Yeah, basically, just don't leave the compound. So,
how am I supposed to transition from Kuwait?
What's that?
How am I supposed to transition from Kuwait? What the fuck?
I don't know. That's your problem, not mine.
Speaking of deserts, Ryan, in Tatooine, they have these aliens called Gamoran Guards, and I'd like to give a cool shout out to my buddy Greg, who gave me a cool toy this week.
Now, is that a reproduction? Or
no.
Is that...
So, ever since I started getting tattoos, and anybody who hasn't been paying, I got a new one. I don't think I've showed everybody. I got Rey. This is episode 9 Rey. She's got a lightsaber. Obviously not finished yet, but I got that, and then I got R2 colored in, and I got my cool porgs colored in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all coming up. So, everyone who I work with and hang out with now officially know how much I love Star Wars, even though I thought everybody always knew. But one of the cool side effects that has been everyone keeps leaving me little trinkets. Like, they find shit laying around their house. Somebody found a Pez dispenser laying in the street, and they, parked their truck and ran across, the freeway to grab it. And I'm like, guys, I appreciate you...
Diving through traffic.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing me, spoils of your affection, but you don't have to die to bring me cool toys. But, I don't know, it's cool treasures. But, anyway, but I'll accept them. So I've got my work truck is starting to get full of, all these cool Star Wars things. And one of my friends from work sent me a message. He's like, hey, man, I got something cool for your truck. There was a picture of this Gamoran Guard. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Thanks, man. And I thought it was something he just found on the street like everything else everybody finds. But actually, I don't know where he found it. But he sticks it he gives it to me, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. It's like, oh, this is a pretty nice action figure. It's in pretty decent shape. I was like, man, this looks like an old one. And so I look, and every single action figure on the back has a date, and this one says 1983. This is an actual Return of the Jedi Gamoran guard.
So was it his, like when he was a kid?
I don't know. I don't want to ask him those kind of questions because then he might want it back.
Yeah, you might realize like, oh shit, this might have some like real sentimental value.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's having any like real value, but I mean,
yeah,
it's made in Hong Kong. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty good shape. Needs a little touch-up paint, but I was like, man, dude, this is going in the collection. This isn't going in the work truck. So, quick shout out to Greg. Thank you, Greg. It's pretty awesome. I like the gifts.
Now you just need to get a what's the thing that he was? Oh wait, no, he was just those were just a guard. Never mind, I was thinking something.
Talking about the Rancors?
Yeah.
I'm gonna feed him to a Rancor.
Yeah.
Jump. Dead. Anyway, that's pretty cool. Wanted to give a quick shout out for that. So you give me toys, you send me prizes, you get a shout out on the show. So. For everybody else who wants a shout out, well, stay tuned to the end. We got a couple new subscribers we're going to give shout outs to. We have a listener who directly messaged me personally and wanting to know when the hell we're coming back on because he missed us. So he gets a shout out at the end of the show. So the end of the show, people, shout outs. Woo!
All you have to do is just send us a message and we will literally do anything. So
Ryan will literally do anything except for grow chest hair and a beard.
Someday.
I wish we had a Night's Watch. I'd send you there.
Why would you send me there?
So you could become a man and grow chest hair?
Oh. I'd be like, aside from Jon Snow, I'd be, I want to be...
Who in the Night's Watch would you want to be besides Jon Snow? They all die. Every last one of them except for Sam.
But nobody really wants to be Sam. But
why not? He gets the sweet jobs, gets the ladies,
that's true.
Gets to break all his vows, but somehow he doesn't end up in jail.
Yeah, and he's a High Lord.
He's a High Lord, a Grand Maester, a father of children, husband to Gilly. God, Sam was the real hero in this show. Let's be real.
And he got the name, the Fire and Ice, the book.
Oh yeah, the book. I wonder if he's got any inside information on when the last two books are coming.
Never.
Actually, hey, since we're about to dive into news, here's a little pre-news spoiler for everybody. Apparently, George R. R. Martin did say that he will have the Winds of Winter ready for the New Zealand Comic-Con, which he's supposed to go to. But that is not until summer 2020?
Yeah, he also said that he was going to be ready January 2019.
Okay, what's the over-under that Winds of Winter is over-under 2,000 pages?
2,000 pages?
Yeah. He's been working on it for 17 years, practically.
I think the last one was 1,400 pages or
2011 is the last book time he released a book. So he's been working on this thing for 8 years. When it comes out, it will have been 9 years. It's going to be 200 pages. It's going to be like War and Peace. It's going to be like...
Yeah, it's either going to be like a gigantically huge book or you're going to be extremely disappointed. So wait, it took him 9 years to write, this much. But...
Yeah, good luck. He has. Let's be real. George has no idea. I think we've talked about this on our Game of Thrones shows. That George has no idea how to get these characters back to where he needs them to get to.
No, he's probably kicking himself that HBO probably did a better job than he was going to do.
Yeah, well, who knows? Well, that's open for a lot of debate between fans. Yeah. So, but we're not going to talk about that tonight. If you want to hear all our thoughts on the season finale and honestly the series finale and the series in general of Game of Thrones, you should check out our last episode of Game of Thrones, the Iron Throne that we did last week.
Although, should we be doing the last watch or the documentary, or should we just say screw that?
We can. I just haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched it either.
So tell you what, everybody, we will watch it, and if it's profoundly cool and gives us a bunch of insight, we will
consider it.
We will maybe do a thing about it. As tidbits of information come out, we'll talk about it. Apparently, the actor who played Bran said that the showrunners came to him a couple seasons ago and did tell him that George R. R. Martin told him two things. One about Hodor, about Bran, the Hodor thing, and that Bran was going to be king. So
that was the other big reveal?
I guess, man, that Bran was the king. That was kind of anticlimactic.
Did you see that thing that Kit Harington, who played
rehab?
Went to rehab or something?
Yeah, it's probably all the stress of people being assholes on the internet.
Yeah.
A bunch of jerks. People quit being mean to Kit Harington.
Yeah, don't be mean to Jon Snow.
Unlike Ryan, Kit Harington can grow a full beard and chest hair, and he's like a man. And he has a sword and a really cool dog. And Ryan has none of those things. His dog eats his own poop. Ryan can't grow chest hair, and the closest thing Ryan has to a sword is a really big butter knife.
My dog eats grass. That's about it.
That he pooped in.
And then he throws up everywhere.
Does he always have to eat the poop that's on top of that grass, though?
My dog is not a poop eater.
All right, yeah. On that note, speaking of shit, Ryan, we should get to the news. Woo! And the rest of the... God damn it, I'm doing it again.
That was a long segue, Brian.
The Chris Farley arms. I'm doing it again. God damn it, I gotta quit doing it. All right, putting my hands under my arms like this and I'm squeezing them.
That's a very long setup to get to that segue.
Time for the Ninja News, Ryan. We are coming. Yeah, we are coming hard. Real hard. Boom! With the fist of knowledge. Right in your hole. And then we're coming with a double... What is this? I don't know what this is. Double slap.
What is
the prayer slap?
It's mad at you right now.
The double slap of learning.
Wow. And then we'll finish it off, Brian, with a Cobra Kai gigantic poop of leg sweeping.
What? Okay, first of all, if I'm coming with all these sex puns, you got to continue it. So you got to be like, and we're going to finish all of you off. That's how you got to do it. We're going to finish all of you off.
With a Cobra Kai leg sweep of learning, Brian.
But you said poop. Why did you say poop?
Giant steaming pile of poop.
Oh, God. Night's Watch, here comes Ryan.
I will not do it.
Put him to good work cleaning toilets.
You will not be able to
Ryan
send me.
is really good at that.
No.
All right, so our first news story tonight, we always have to get the sad news out of the way. So this week we lost a celebrity, an internet sensation. What's actually happened last week? So we're going to combine last week's and this week's news, and we're just going to say it all happened this week. But the world lost an icon. We lost Grumpy Cat.
Yes. Very sad.
I mean, that's all I got to say. Grumpy Cat was, like, funny, but I didn't know him personally or her. Was Grumpy Cat a boy or a girl cat? You might even know.
I have no idea, nor did I ever care.
You know what? I don't want to put that cat in a box. That cat can be whatever gender it identifies with. But I have to say, though, it made my week, though. The best meme I saw all week was a Grumpy Cat meme where it said, "So this is heaven? I hate it." And it made me laugh and smile. Yeah. And I feel like that's the way Grumpy Cat would like to be remembered, as a meme.
Yeah. I'm sure Grumpy Cat wrote a giant manifesto before he died.
Whenever a manifesto, I always think of some psycho, like, who's planted bombs all around the city. Like, I wrote a manifesto, and it's usually hate speak and bombs and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I cannot verify whether Grumpy Cat was a bomber or a hate speaker, but died at 7, which is pretty young for a cat. We don't know of what, probably hairball.
I think all cats should not. I'm not a big fan of domesticated cats. I'll just say that.
So what, you are a fan of tigers? Like, you want them in your house?
I'm not a big fan of domesticated feline animals.
I'm not a fan of any feline animal, I'll be honest. They're mean. They slap your face when you're sleeping. Bunch of...
Yeah. So I like dogs. Those are my...
Pretty sure Grumpy Cat died of depression because he was just never happy.
That would not surprise me at all.
But whatever, Grumpy Cat, all your memes will be missed. But if the internet over the last couple of weeks is any indication, we will make sure that you live on in spectacular fashion.
And that your owner gets exactly $0 in royalties.
Your owner will continue to keep raking in the Grumpy Cat merchandise. Don't worry, your owner is definitely exploiting your death. So, as we always say on the show, good journey. May the force be with you, Grumpy Cat. Peace. Yeah. Deuces.
Peace out.
Pour one out for Grumpy Cat. All right. What are we doing next? Should we do Star Wars? Let's do Star Wars. Because I love Star Wars. It's the best thing in the world. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh,
I don't know why you would say that. You've never once shown any enthusiasm for anything Star Wars related.
I mean, I like the wars that is in the stars. It's so great. Okay, do we want to talk about Rise of Skywalker? I keep wanting to call it Rise of the Skywalker, but that's not
Rise of the Darth Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalkers.
Yeah. Skywalkers.
Skywalker, the Risen. Funny story, and there's another language that translated, the poster translated into Resurrection of Skywalker.
Ooh.
All right, let's just go and talk about Rise of Skywalker. So we got our first, more detailed looks besides the trailer. So all we've gotten so far is the trailer. Vanity Fair had a big, huge spread, really cool covers. One had Kylo, one had Rey, and Rey the sun was rising and Kylo the sun was setting. It's pretty cool. But we got a shit ton of high-vis, beautiful pictures that showed a bunch of different things. I wouldn't say anything was too spoilerific, so if you guys haven't checked it out, I would definitely recommend giving it a whirl. Like I said, Vanity Fair, you can go to their website, or I took all the really pictures that were interesting and threw them up on our Facebook page, so and Twitter. You can check them out either place. But
I can't believe they kept showing all those pictures of Luke. So
well, they only showed one picture of Luke.
No, it was more than one.
It was one. Quit trying to make it sound bad.
And he was all like,
no, he wasn't.
And then he was a Force Ghost, and then he was in the Emperor costume.
And then they showed the one where he was fighting the Emperor, but they were both 30-foot dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie's going to be real wild.
Then there's one where, where Finn had, a triple-bladed lightsaber. He was just like...
And then there's one where Finn has no head because he's been killed.
Yeah.
But like I said, no spoilers. No, we got a couple of really cool images. There was one where it looks like Rey and Kylo are fighting on top of that Death Star that we see in the trailer, which is awesome. We did get one shot of Luke Skywalker, but it's fire, so a lot of people have said that maybe it's a force, like a flashback to the temple burning. However, it is Gray Luke, which is what most people call the Last Jedi version of Luke. He's hanging out next to R2.
Wait, what is that? What did you say? What kind?
So people kind of refer to him as, when people say Gray Luke, so kind of like Gray Wizard, like Gandalf.
Oh, okay.
Because he's like kind of in his white gray.
Oh, okay.
His beard, his hair's all gray. Because when he does the past in there, he's wearing the black costume and he's got the black beard and.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you should think about that. There's a lot of really cool imagery. Whatever people thought of Last Jedi, it looked pretty cool. So real quick, this is a tiny bit of spoilers, I guess, for for Rise of Skywalker. But honestly, I hate spoilers, and I had no problem checking out this information. So it has been confirmed. We got a first look at the Knights of Ren, so they are coming back.
Well, they're coming. Well, they haven't been on yet.
Well, we saw them for. Okay, I guess that's coming back as a little bit of a misleader. We got our first look at them in The Force Awakens in that Force back where Kylo's murdering whoever Kylo's murdering, and the Knights of Ren are standing around him. So this is something JJ introduced in The Force Awakens, and it looks like he is definitely bringing him back for this. What capacity? Who knows? It could just be like, oh, Knights of Ren, and they're all dead in the first 20 minutes of the movie. But we are getting Knights of Ren. We got our first look at Kerry Russell's character in costume. She looks pretty badass. Looks very much like a bounty hunter. We got to see some cool horses. I don't know. Like I said, the images, most of them are just kind of behind the scenes set footage type things. But the ones that were really cool were just the Kylo, just some of the imagery, like Kylo and Rey fighting. We get a better look at all their costumes, and then the Luke reveal coming back. The article itself had some, not huge spoilers, but there's a few things they mentioned. So apparently this is going to be the end. This movie is going to end the Jedi-Sith conflict, completely. So
I didn't read that part.
Yeah, so this is going to not only be the end of this era, it's going to be the end of the Jedi-Sith battles.
Well, that's interesting, because what will there be? Nothing? No
I don't
Force?
know. That's kind of what this movie's going to answer. That's why we should all get excited. They also talked about how in this movie Kylo and Rey have an even deeper connection in the Force and together, and their destinies are intertwined, which immediately led people to speculate, about, once again, Rey's parentage, whether or not she really is a Skywalker or not, which has led to some. Now this is a rumor. Once again, if you want to know nothing, I guess you could consider this a spoiler, so skip ahead about 15 seconds. But there's a new rumor out saying that, once again, Rey is Han Solo's daughter, which I think is just stupid.
Oh, so what if Kylo and they like kiss on accident, like a Luke and Leia thing?
I mean, I guess they could, but anybody who's seen the last
brothers and sisters,
anybody who's seen the Last Jedi, I mean, they really had some tension between them. Like there was some like romantic interest there, and I really just don't think
towel around his waist when he was.
I do not think Disney would have gone there if that's where they wanted to go. I mean, listen, the only reason why Luke and Leia kiss so much is because George Lucas didn't decide to make Princess Leia a Skywalker until Return of the Jedi. So, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. But, had he all along known that was his sister, I'm sure they would have toned down the brother-sister making out.
Yeah.
I think if anything, I think the connection could be, I think there's a strong possibility that, we know that they found Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. Maybe Luke's hand was still attached to it. I mean, maybe they go back into cloning. Maybe that's how we get the Emperor back. Maybe the Emperor's a clone of the original Emperor. Or maybe we find out that the Emperor on the Death Star was a clone of the Emperor, and the real Emperor was still floating around.
She's been hiding out for the last 30 years.
Maybe we find out that the Emperor, maybe Rey's a clone of Luke. I mean, who knows? I mean, it could be weird. There's so many.
Oh, yeah, it could be Rey's like the daughter of like the supreme evil.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Rey is the Emperor's daughter, or granddaughter. I mean, there's so many other ways you could tie this back with the story and still have it be a very familiar bond, a deeper bond in the Force, than just like, oh, it's Luke's daughter. To me, that's just boring. I would much rather Rey be like another chosen one, something made by the Force, or even if they bring back, listen, the clones were such a huge part of the prequels. It would be kind of cool if we had some clone stuff pop up again in the final movie.
Yeah, like maybe she's like a female clone of the Emperor.
Yeah, or oh god, I didn't think about the Emperor. Maybe she is a clone of the Emperor. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, she's like a female Emperor.
Especially if she is the good guy in this. That'd be awesome. And what if that's true? And then the Emperor's own hubris by creating a clone of himself is what ultimately brings him down.
Yeah.
Genius. Ryan?
I just figured it out.
I have ripped up your transfer papers to the Night Watch, and you get to stay in King's Landing for just a little bit longer. Nice work. So, but yeah, check it out. I would recommend reading the article. It's a pretty good article. It's just got some fun, little interesting stuff about what the future of the Rise of Skywalker is. And if you're excited like I am, I would definitely recommend it. There's also some other stuff. We find out, like, the name of some of these planets and creatures and stuff.
I am not looking at any more articles. I don't know if I'm going to look at any more trailers. I just don't want anything to ruin this movie for me.
Yeah, I don't want any confirmed.
That's the tough part, because Star Wars is like the only one where I break like all of my rules.
Yeah.
All the time.
I'll probably watch at least one more trailer, but yeah, I'm with you. I mean, once they go to the third trailer, which is heavily plot, I never watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to say that I'm not going to watch the second trailer, but I definitely am going to watch the second trailer.
You're going to, Brian. You're going to watch the shit out of it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. I'm so excited about this. Some other Star Wars news that came out this week. Big week for Star Wars. Galaxy's Edge opens on Friday. So, hopefully...
I got my ticket. Where's your, Brian?
Yeah, I already did the tour. I did the celebrity tours.
Oh.
You didn't get your... I invited you. You didn't get that in the mail?
Oh no! I got the. I have to wait in line and get my.
I got to go in with the cast and Ryan Johnson. Me and JJ were hanging out all night. It was pretty cool. I got all kinds of information. In fact, I actually know. That's why I'm so excited about you talking about the Emperor clone, because that's actually what JJ told me.
That's a +1 thing.
When I said Greg gave me this, I actually meant JJ Abrams gave me this because he's my best friend.
Usually those things are +1. So what did you do with the +1?
Well, I was JJ's +1.
Oh,
that's why I couldn't invite you. I just didn't want to tell you because you get so jealous. One of the other things I heard when I was touring Galaxy's Edge, Ryan, we're going to talk more about that in a second, is I heard that apparently Star Wars is actively developing a Knights of the Old Republic movie. So, a trilogy. So we talked last time that we thought that's where the direction was, so it sounds like that is going to be the next direction. Now, we don't know for a fact that Benioff and Weiss's movies are the Old Republic trilogy, but we do know that they have a writer right now that's writing the scripts. I didn't catch her name, but it's the first female writer to do a solo script for Star Wars, which is pretty cool.
Well, that's an interesting way if they do it, because if they're going to be ending the whole Jedi-Sith conflict, the Old Republic is like, into the Jedi-Sith conflict.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing too: is Kathleen Kennedy has said that they have some of the characters. There's rumors, and this is kind of a spoiler, but rumors is one of the main characters in the next Star Wars movie will die. So who knows? But so Kathleen Kennedy's been very vague, saying some of the characters from these new trilogies we definitely would like to see continue on at some point. But they're really smart to just take a complete break. Maybe take 10 years away from the main the Skywalker storyline and just do something different. I think me and you've talked about this.
The universe.
Me and you have talked at length about, this is why Game of Thrones is doing prequels set 5,000 years in the past. There's this rich lore of the Star Wars universe that takes place long before the 100 years or so, the 60 years or so that has been dominating the movies. So why not go back? Go back 5,000 years, go back 1,000 years. Yeah. And you can tell, the Jedi and the Sith are these massive, huge wars amongst themselves. I mean, imagine a World War II movie. Or even, how about this, Knights of Camelot, Excalibur-style movie, but with Jedis and Sith.
I mean, and you had assassin robots that called everybody meatbags and wanted to people. That was my favorite one.
HK? What was his full thing? HK
47.
47. He's a hunter killer droid. He's great.
Yeah. Let's kill the meatbags.
Yeah, so I mean, there's so much rich. You could legit tell any story you wanted to, introduce anything you want to, and just hint at other things in the Star Wars universe, and you could tell great stories. So I think that would be really smart for them to do that. And then maybe 10 years from now, bring back Daisy Ridley or whoever's left alive, or Kylo, maybe Kylo out of his exile, and give him a shot to do another movie or two. But I think this is a good plan for Disney, and I'm. 2 thumbs up.
We're down for all the Star Wars.
Listen, give me a fucking Star Wars movie every single year. Give me 2 a year. I'll go see them all.
Well, and put out shows on the Disney Plus thing.
Everybody says that the universe can't support more than one Star Wars movie every 4 years. Shut up. I don't want to talk to you. Go sit and do something else. Tell it to Marvel.
That's stupid.
But anyway, so back to Disneyland. It's pretty cool. We threw it up. We got our first look at the new Disneyland map with Star Wars Land. Star Wars Land is the biggest. It is the biggest land that they have in Disneyland. It's pretty cool. Yeah. But they're only gonna have 2 rides. The second ride, though, if you are going now, hopefully you got your reservation.
That's the only way you're getting in.
Yeah, for the very first month, the only way you could get into Star Wars Land is if you made a reservation. Now, if you are going to a Disneyland hotel, you can still get a reservation if you stay at the hotel for the next month. But anyway, after the end of June, I want to say it's going to be open to public and you don't need reservations. But because of the mass amounts of people they're expecting to turn out, they made people go online and register. Everything is going to be open except for there's a first order ride that is not completed yet. It's supposed to be done in September. But
there's going to be so many people buying lightsabers and Jedi robes and everything. It's going to be absolutely insane.
They have been releasing
giant mock battles, probably just like in the middle of Star Wars Land.
Yeah, if you want to see what's really cool is they've been releasing a shit ton of videos of kind of walkthroughs of Star Wars Land, of Galaxy's Edge. You get to see all the shopping experiences. I mean, this is really set up a lot. Like, I have a real sneaky suspicion that whoever designed Harry Potter Land kind of influenced this a little bit, because you go through this, it looks like you're going through Mos Eisley. And all the stores and shops are set up, and every single shop has something different. And they have the droid. So for $100, you can get your own little little droid. But they have all the parts on a conveyor that you pick and choose how to make your droid, and then you buy the motor and the remotes, and they put it all together for you, and then you can take it home. It's $100. But it's literally a droid conveyor belt that has all the parts that you can pick and choose from. Your lightsabers, they have Jedi holocrons. Well, apparently if you buy your lightsaber, and because you select your kyber crystal to put in the lightsaber, and the kyber crystal reacts to the Jedi and Sith holocrons, and they tell you what kind of Jedi you are and tell you your future and stuff. Like, it's all interactive. You buy one thing. It's very much like the wands at Harry Potter Land. You can buy official Jedi robes. Official Jedi robes. I mean, there is so much merchandise here.
Only going to cost you $200.
Dude, you can buy a fully working, functioning, programmable R2-D2 for $25,000. I mean, this place is selling literally everything.
Well, they have to, because they're going to make like $1 trillion off the Galaxy's Edge part.
Oh, yeah. The merchandise alone is good. I mean, they're going to make so much money off this stuff. I mean, if you've seen it in a Star Wars, like I've seen some people on Twitter with their haul, their merchandise haul. So, like, you can buy the binders, the official binders that they put on like Chewbacca in the movies. The cuffs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can buy anything. If you've seen it in a Star Wars movie, you can buy it at Galaxy's Edge.
Can you buy a real port?
Probably. They got ones you can stick your hand up and you can talk and shit. It's like a puppet.
They went Jurassic Park and like geneticists like combined genes from
and they made a pork. They just buy penguins. They're just penguins that they've stitched like furry hanging things on their head. But yeah, so I mean it's really cool. Clearly, if you're going, I'm going next May. I'm going to save up all my allowance money, and I'm going to be buying.
No,
this may be one of those deals where you have to bring your own like empty suitcase just for your shit you're going to buy at Star Wars Land. Yeah. But,
like the kids want something, you got to bring your own money, kids.
So here's a couple other little cool things that we found out. So apparently so if you go to Disneyland, I always recommend the Disneyland app. It's one of the best apps I've used for any park. They have a Star Wars feature that when you go into Star Wars, the Galaxy's Edge, you push it and it turns your phone into a data pad. Yeah, so a Star Wars data pad that interacts with things in the park, right? And everybody in the park is in character. So if you go up to the bartender at the cantina and order a drink, he'll want to know what galaxy you're from, or what planet you're from, or what work you're looking for, or how you're going through. And if you apparently have a story, they'll interact with you and play off of your story. So like this whole thing is designed. Everybody inside believes that they are in Star Wars, in the Star Wars universe. So the more you play along, the better your experience apparently is.
Wow.
I'm never leaving.
Yeah. Why would you? Why would you?
I'm going to go in and drop the Chosen One a lot. I'm going to go like when I went to Harry Potter Land, I said Voldemort. People always like recoiled. So I cannot wait to do that at Star Wars Land. It's going to be great. But anybody who's going this year, I would love to pick your brain and let us know what your experience was like. So we are very excited.
It's going to be jam-packed every single day.
All right. That is, I think that's all the Star Wars news we got. So let's see. What do you want next? Do I just blow through some quick stuff and then we can talk about the trailers?
Let's blow through stuff, Brad.
All right. If there's anything, yeah, love to blow through some stuff here. If there's anything that you want to talk about, just raise your hand in a nice orderly fashion and we'll talk about it. Well, okay. Let's start with this one because I know you're going to want to talk about it. So we officially have our new next Batman. This broke last week. And, of course, we decided not to do a show, and then this news came out. Robert Patterson is officially going to be the Batman in the Matt Reeves movie coming out in 2021. The internet was immediately outraged, like I knew they would be, because the internet hates everything. Robert Patterson is best probably known for Twilight, but to me personally, I never watched Twilight. To me, he's always Cedric Diggory, which I really liked him as in Harry Potter.
He's always been a good actor. I mean, it's just...
Listen, he's tall.
I'm just more tired of Batman movies in general.
Yeah, that's true.
And reboots of Batman movies in general.
I would be much more interested if I heard that he was playing Terry McGinnis in a Batman Beyond movie.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
Do something like outside of like, the normal...
Oh, you mean kind of like Zack Snyder did and everybody just crushed his dreams for doing?
Yeah, I guess.
But
I don't
I
know.
personally, I like Robert Patterson.
I don't have a lot of complaints about him being Batman, just because I just don't care. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's
I
not
mean,
going to affect me that much.
I think he'll be fine. He's tall, he's brooding, he's got a square jawline that Batman needs, and whatever, man. People hated Michael Keaton as Batman when they first heard about him. People. I remember the internet literally melting when they found out Heath Ledger was going to be Joker. It was all, oh, he's gonna be a gay cowboy Joker. No, he's not going to be a gay cowboy Joker. 10 things I hate about Gotham. No, it's not 10 things I hate about Gotham. And you know what? Ended up being one of the most iconic movie roles we've ever seen.
Most iconic villain roles ever.
Yes. I mean, who cares? Ben Affleck was a fine Batman. I mean, these people know what they're doing, and they're not trying to sink their freaking. So before you turn Batman into Twilight, it's not going to be Twilight.
It's only because Ben Affleck had a drinking problem or whatever he had to go to rehab for. I mean,
and they had some massive issues behind the scenes with productions and Warner Brothers, and that was just doing, and the internet being a bunch of crybabies.
The Warner Brothers movie universe is just a giant mess right now. So
yeah, well, I mean, tell it to Aquaman. It made like $2 billion. All right, let's see. Moving on, things that aren't a mess. John Wick 3 has made like $500 million zillion, which he has made $1 million for every person murdered in that movie.
Ugh, that's a lot of people getting murdered.
Oh, there's so much. I have seen John Wick 3. I highly recommend everyone go see John Wick 3. It's great. I mean, unless you didn't like John Wick 1 and 2, and then you're probably not going to like 3, but if you like the other ones, this one's got even more murder.
1 or 2. 2 is probably my favorite.
Then you are going to love 3.
Okay.
1 is my favorite because it's the most I don't know, it doesn't need a sequel. I love the sequel, but it's a great standalone movie. You can just watch it and it's just great. The sequel kind of expanded the universe. The third one expands the universe even more, and it has twice as much murder.
They're setting it up for the Star Show, kind of.
Dude, they're setting it up for all kinds of. Well, they're setting it up for just more murder. Like, I don't know how John Wick kills people with a horse. He turns a horse into like a gun and kills people with it.
The horse just shooting stuff out of his mouth.
Dude, I'm not even gonna. He's shooting carrots out. I'm not gonna tell you. It's just amazing, but. Anyway, needless to say, John Wick 3 is crushing at the box office. It's estimated to bring in anywhere from $200 to $300 million worldwide when its run's done, which would by far be the most money.
Again, too? How did that one? I'm guessing that one took second.
Which one?
Aladdin.
Yeah. Well, that was okay. So 2 weeks ago, John Wick was number 1. Aladdin this week took the top spot with I think $90 million over the weekend. I haven't seen Aladdin. I've actually heard it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Whatever. I've said it before on the show. I'll say it again. I have fucking zero desire to see any of these remakes.
Yeah.
Don't care. Don't need them. I'll watch it when it comes out on Divid. But I will watch John Wick 3, which I did. And you should, because they just announced John Wick 4. That's how excited Lionsgate was that John Wick made all the money.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm probably gonna have to wait until it comes out on video or digital. But
yeah, it might be out for a while. Just keep it in mind if you want to go see it on date night. It's a good movie. Me and the missus went out and we had a good time.
Jeff hasn't seen the first 2, so
then you might be watching it alone. Let's see. John Wick 4 is coming out 2021, so we're only got to wait 2 years and we get another John Wick movie, so that's pretty cool. I guess, spoiler alert, he doesn't die at the end? Or does he? Maybe it's a prequel. Who knows?
Ooh.
On the press tour, Keanu Reeves had mentioned that he would love to play. Somebody asked him what movie he'd like to, what's the franchise he did that he'd like to go back to. And he actually said of all the movies he did, the one that he really regretted not getting a sequel to that he'd love to do again was Constantine. Which that is one of the most underrated movies.
It is so underrated.
It is really good.
Honestly, I rewatch it like maybe once every couple of years or so.
It never got the fare that it deserved because, once again, the internet was all butthurt that he wasn't blonde and British. But you take away the fact that he's blonde and British, he is John Constantine, and the movie's really good.
God, and like that ending where
listen,
he looks back and he flips him off.
Flips off Satan.
Satan grabs his kidneys and rips out his cancer or whatever.
Dude, it is such a good movie. I love that movie. I'm gonna watch it again. I think now that I think about it. But yeah, check out Constantine. I would love to see him again. Hopefully, Warner Brother gives him a call. That being said, I do really like Matt Ryan's take on Constantine on the CW stuff, but Keanu Reeves. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, one of the greatest shows from the 90s.
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
I don't remember the rest, but I remember that.
The Chip and Dale Nintendo game was hard.
Yeah, all the Nintendo games in the 90s based on those. The DC... Dude, I bought the DC Animation Block Super Nintendo games. Dude, because you can buy them on Xbox Live for like $5. They are all ridiculously hard. Because you can get DuckTales and Rescue Rangers and Darkwing Duck, all hard.
I remember Chip and Dale was like the first one my brother and I like broke a controller. Like, and those Nintendo controllers were hard to break. Like, we were like...
Dude, some of those games were just brutal. They just were there to make you suffer. But you know what? Disney is not here to make us suffer because they are giving us a movie adaptation of the show. I'm guessing it'll probably be like 3D or Pixar. I doubt it's going to be live.
Yeah.
But who cares? I'm excited. I'm in for all. I'm on
chipmunks and a violet flight jacket.
I am in for all of the Disney Animation Block. Now can we get a DuckTales and a Darkwing Duck?
I miss Tailspin. What about
Tailspin? How about Gummy Bears? Tailspin? Gargoyles? Give me a fucking Gargoyles. Can we just get Gargoyles as a movie?
That is like the best Disney Plus show they could do.
Oh my god.
If they did a Gargoyles Disney Plus show.
Yeah, forget like Aladdin Part 7 live action. Give us Gargoyles live action movie. I want that one. We got a Dumbo. We're getting Pinocchio. Can't we just get Gargoyles instead?
I don't know, man. Is it like licensing or no? They owned it.
It's got to be something because I don't know why. That's like the most clamored. Like people always ask for that. I don't know why they haven't done it yet. Yeah. Well, Disney is going to be giving us a lot of things we like. Apparently, they're going to be giving us a True Lies TV shows on the Disney Plus service. I personally think this may end up on Hulu. But because it seems like Disney Plus has been wanting to do more of the PG-13. True Lies was a rated R movie, and I feel like you'd have to make the TV show rated R if you want to make it feel like the movie. But apparently McGee and James Cameron are developing a show for Disney Plus.
Yeah. I still gotta watch that new McGee movie on Netflix. The
kid one? I saw the trailer for it. My kids want to watch it.
World or something like that.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I've heard it's pretty decent, so I'm gonna check. We'll check that out. Maybe we'll do something on the. Maybe we'll do a show about it. We'll do a real reviews on it. But yeah, so True Lies, it's not going to be... doesn't sound like it's going to be a complete reboot. It basically sounds like, well, it will be a reboot, but it doesn't sound like it's going to tell the same story just with the new cast. It sounds like it's going to be in the universe, but kind of set later and with its own original story.
Spies that are just totally just messing with this one normal guy that's possibly trying to screw one guy's
I don't care. I was going to say as long as Bill Paxton's in it, but I guess he can't do that. That sucks. R.I.P. Bill Paxton.
Oh, God, it does suck. I didn't even think of it.
I love Bill Paxton. Oh, well. All right, let's see what else we're getting here. We were talking Game of Thrones earlier. We mentioned that they're coming out with some prequels. A lot of people speculated based on the ending of Game of Thrones that we could be getting a sequel series because it definitely leaves it open for that. HBO quickly has shut that down, though, saying that there will be, of all the shows they're developing, there will be 0 sequels. These are all going to be prequel shows that will flesh out the universe. I say until once George's books are done and HBO needs more money, I say that they're going to do more sequels.
Hurt really bad.
Sly Stallone apparently wants to get into the TV business. He wants to turn Cobra, his 84 movie, into a television series.
Now, was that the one that was kind of like Rambo?
No, it was like some rogue cop who drove like a Cobra and just murdered people.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Like his solution to all fighting crime was just to kill as many people as possible.
I think I only saw that movie once, and that was because it was on HBO back in 88 or something.
Dude, it is such an 80s movie. I think it came out in 86, but it is I've only watched it a few times, but it is such an 80s movie. I would really be interested in a TV show, as long as Stallone was in it.
Yeah, I just remember I was way too young to be watching it.
So. Yeah, oh yeah. Let's see. What else are we doing here? So apparently Ridley Scott will not let his Prometheus prequel Alien series die. Apparently he is writing and planning on directing the third Alien prequel for Disney.
Oh, so he decided to listen to the people to get rid of the stuff that nobody really wanted.
Nope, he's going to continue moving forward with his universe because that's what he wants and whatever. Sure, why not? Why not, Ridley? Just go right ahead. Something that we're probably not going to be getting any more of for a long time, Hellboy. The Hellboy reboot, the rated R Hellboy reboot, has ended its box office run with disastrous results. It cost about $40 million to make. I think it only made $31 million worldwide. And if you factor in apparently a production budget of over $50 million, this movie is going to lose like $60-70 million.
Well, I mean, just wait until DVD sales.
Yeah, we'll see.
That'll make up something.
I don't care. I'm still going to watch it when it comes out. I just never got around to going to see it in theater, so whatever.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Too. It's just, I'll watch it.
And then the last little bit of news we got before we get into trailers is apparently Chris Hemsworth has been making the rounds. You know, he's doing press for his new Men in Black movie that's coming out. And somebody asked him about Thor because his contract's up with Disney, and he said he would absolutely, positively love to come back and do many more Thor movies.
I want the next Thor movie to be him trying to get back in shape.
I think of all the people...
It's like a 1 hour and 30 minutes of a workout montage.
I think of all the characters at the end of Avengers, I think the one that everybody's been completely reinvented with and cannot wait to see more of is Thor. Like, everybody wants more Thor. I've not met anyone who's like, I love Captain America, but, this is time to go. Iron Man, love Tony Stark, but I get why, maybe he's not going to be around anymore. Yeah. I'd like to see another Guardians movie. How about the Hulk? He's cool. Thor. Oh my God! I want like 9 more Thor movies. Yeah, there we go. We want all the Thor.
Yeah, but Thor technically with the Guardians right now, wasn't he?
Yes. Yeah. Rumors are going to be doing as Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh.
Is what the next one will be. We'll see. I don't know. Who cares? We'll find out soon enough. But I am on board for more Thor. All right. Unless you got something else you want to talk about, let's dive into these trailers real quick.
Yes.
Which one do you want to start with? We had a lot of trailers over the last couple of weeks. Some of them really good. Some of them, who gave a shit?
Let's start off with Star Trek.
All right, so we finally got our first look at Picard, kind of. Basically, it was a teaser of the Jean-Luc Picard standalone series that they're doing on CBS All Access. And basically, it ended where we thought it would always end with Picard. He shows them like 15...
Nobody thought he was going to go to this family freaking winery.
He always talked about he always joked about that's where he was going to end up. Is on his family's farm picking grapes. Well, 15 years after the events of what was the last movie he was in?
Generations?
No, that wasn't the last one. That was the first one. It was the one with Romulans. This is the one. It was the one with Romulans where it had like somebody had his clone.
Right.
Which one?
Didn't it have like the clone of Picard?
Yeah, it was Tom Hardy.
It was like Nemesis or something.
Nemesis. So this takes place apparently 15 years after Nemesis. He's retired from Starfleet, and he's just out and picking his grapes. And it sounds like Starfleet is a coming calling. So I don't know. That's all we know about it. What'd you think?
He should be an archaeologist.
Listen, as a giant.
A lot of time talking about his passion for archaeology. They only had the one episode where he went to the family farm with his brother.
As the biggest nerd who lives in a basement that I know, Ryan, how do you feel about this series?
I am still not going to subscribe to CBS All Access.
Oh, man. And I joke. I think I'm more excited for this show than you are.
As much as I love Picard, I mean, I have been... having the neck generation on as my background noise, like while I'm working and stuff like
Ryan,
that.
You're going about this all wrong. I've just started watching Discovery Season 2 using my buddy's 3rd email address that he's made just so he can get a free month of CBS All Access.
Yeah.
So when the Picard show comes out, I will use my 2nd email account to get a 1-month free subscription of CBS All Access. Mm-hmm. And this is how we're watching Star Trek.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably how I end up doing it. I'll just get the the free subscription.
Okay,
I'll use my kids' like school email account for their elementary school or something.
Okay, so CBS All Access aside, what do you think the show's going to end up being about? Do you think it's going to be like a low budget like follow up to Star Trek the Next Generation, just to kind of give us a cap?
I'm thinking it's just going to be a low budget, just like him just trying to solve. Like when they
solve a murder mystery. Did someone kill Riker, and he's trying to solve the mystery?
Yeah, or I mean, what I want is like him to be doing archaeology stuff, like with the Indiana Jones hat.
Man, I'm really glad that you are not making the show.
He's an archeologist at heart.
All right, moving on from Ryan's really boring description of what he wants Star Trek Picard to be. We got another trailer for Swamp Thing, which is coming out later this month. I think in a couple of days, actually, May 31st.
31st.
And it looks completely different. It definitely has a strong horror vibe to it, and it looks completely different than what we've gotten so far from the DC Universe app.
Yeah, and I don't know, I know enough about Swamp Thing to get by.
Yeah.
But I'm really interested to see like where they go with the show, because like with the app, it'll also sometimes bring up like comic books that are related to whatever the story is or something. So I'm really interested to see like what comics pop up with the show, so to try and like get people to kind of see what
do it. Yeah, all I know is I'm excited for it. I'm still trying to make my way through Doom Patrol. I love it, and it's not because it's not a good show. I just have been so freaking busy all the time. But I'm excited. It's something different. I like how everything they keep releasing gives us something a little bit different than what we've already seen.
Mm-hmm. And if it's anything like the first two shows they've done, they've knocked them both out of the park. So
yeah,
see if we can go 3 for 3.
All right, Swamp Thing. But we'll know soon enough. Coming out this week. We'll try and watch it and give you guys a little review next week of the premiere episode of the Swamp Thing. Okay, sticking kind of DC news here. We got our first trailer for Batwoman, the next CW show. And, it had some highs and lows. Let's just say, I will say that I'm all for... CW is very much about inclusion. There's a lot of LGBT elements of the show. There's a lot of girl power on the show, which is totally cool. I will say this, the trailer really leans into girl power a lot, to the point where they're talking about, like, Gotham doesn't need a man, it needs a woman. I'm just like, why are you shitting all over Batman? You could just be like, Bruce Wayne's
like
gone.
They're trying to tap into the girl power that they got from Wonder Woman, and that Marvel got from Captain Marvel, but they're trying way too hard.
Yeah, the trailer, and I don't necessarily think it's going to represent the show. I'm actually excited for the show, and I think it looks like it's going to be a cool show.
It seemed like it's a girl power thing written by men.
Yeah, it's kind of what it does. Like, I'm a girl, so I'm cool, and I'm a girl.
Would a girl really like this?
I'm not Batman because I'm a Batwoman, because Batman is dumb.
And all the 5 writers that are all white males all high-fived each other about how...
So, I mean, whatever. I wasn't overly... I thought the tones... Now, listen, that being said, whatever, I don't care. I'm still going to watch the show. I thought the trailer was a little heavy-handed with its just its tone. It was really weird. That being said, like, the internet trolls, as they tend to do, this is like one of the most downvoted YouTube videos like of all time. Like, now the comments are absolutely horrible, and I recommend nobody read them, because unfortunately, whether this had anything about woman power or female power or anything in the trailer, there's probably a whole bunch of asshole sexist dudes on the internet who are just going to talk shit anyway. But whatever. I don't know. I thought the trailer was... I think the show is going to be better than the trailer gave us. I wasn't really all that impressed by the trailer.
Yeah, just wait till the show comes out and then make an actual decision.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. That's all I'm going to say about Batwoman. Sure, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, we'll give it a try.
And we get a Batwoman. You're a Batwoman.
Yeah.
We hear you doing your bat thing. Can't wait to watch. All right, and then let's see here. What else we got? HBO released a couple new trailers because they're desperate to keep people watching HBO, and now Game of Thrones is gone. The first one we got is called His Dark Materials. It's a TV show based on the Dark Materials novels. If it looks familiar because there's a big giant polar bear, it's because this is based on... We already kind of got a movie based on this material a little bit called The Golden Compass.
Yeah.
But apparently there's 2 other books that we did not get in the movies because everyone hated The Golden Compass. But...
Wait, is that what is it based off of?
Yeah, so The Golden Compass is based on his Dark Materials.
Oh. I did not know that.
But
it was a BBC show too, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I think this is a co-production with BBC.
Oh, okay.
So I think HBO and BBC are doing this together. I don't know. I think it was cool. I've never read the books. Apparently there's a lot where people's souls are actually animals and they are like in the world. I don't know, man. Some weird Narnia shit, but
maybe I'll try and read the book or something then.
I think the trailer looked really cool. It's got a lot of really good actors and
it looks good.
I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good positive buzz from the trailer, so
I think the trailer was cool. And then we got our first look at Westworld 3, season 3, which is strange because it doesn't even come out until like 2020. So we're a long ways away from more Westworld, but
I still got to watch the second season.
Well, season 3 is interesting. I don't want to ruin anything from season 2, but season 3 looks like it's going to be... It has much more of an iRobot vibe than a Cowboys and Robots vibe. I think it looked pretty cool. We got... I never remember his name, but Jesse Pinkett from Breaking Bad. Aaron... The hell's his name? I don't know.
Yeah, we know who it is.
Yeah, we got Jesse. Jesse's one of the main stars in season 3. I think it looked cool. All right, what else we got? We got another Stranger Things trailer, but whatever. We're not even going to talk about it. I'm so excited for Stranger Things season 3. Yeah. I mean, they're legit bringing back New Coke just for Stranger Things.
Yeah, which is... I can't remember how it tastes, but I will give it a try.
Yeah, why not? I remember hating it in the 80s. I'll probably hate it now, but I'll try it again. And then let's see here. What else we got? Then we had...
That was it, wasn't it?
No, there's one other trailer we're going to talk about. I just wanted to make sure that was the last one. And then we had a pretty big trailer that I've been excited to check out. I heard it was coming. We got our first look at Terminator: Dark Fate. The new. Yes. So this is the official Terminator Universe movie. So apparently this movie takes place after Terminator 2, and it's basically scrapping Terminator 3.
Everything that's happened since Terminator 2 is now officially uncanonized.
Yes. So Terminator Salvation, Terminator Genesis, and Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines.
Salvation
is all gone. This is now Terminator 3 Dark Fate. But the cool thing about this one is it's James Cameron's producing. Tim Miller, the guy who brought us Deadpool 1, is directing. And Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor herself, is back.
Back to Sarah Connor. And you get to see Arnold.
Arnold's back. They're all back, except for John Connor. Did you get the very strong impression that, like, John Connor is dead?
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out, because that wasn't John Connor in the truck with the girl.
So here's what we got. So the trailer itself wasn't a great trailer in the aspect of I have no idea what this movie's about, for the most part, other than Terminators. But it did really showcase some of the action, and the action looks amazing in this. Mm-hmm. And Sarah Connor looks like a total badass. Linda Hamilton is such a boss.
She always looks like a badass. But...
Now, see, here's the thing. To me, now this is where internet is just being assholes. Like, we talked about the Batwoman trailer that was a little overly, kind of over the top with its message. This movie, I thought, had no message. It just happens to have 3 main female leads. And the bad Terminator is played by Gabriel Luna, who is Latino. So you have the 4 main characters in this movie are women and a Latino character, and so people immediately are accusing this movie of trying to be PC and super diverse and girl power. And I'm just like, okay, the girls in this are just badasses. Like, if you feel like threatened by that, that's your fault. I don't know what to tell you.
When was Sarah Connor ever not a badass from Terminator 1 or 2.
Yeah, so if you go to YouTube, a lot of the comments are about,
Terminator 1.
People are calling this Terminator social justice warrior, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like maybe not all the way to Terminator 1 because she hadn't quite become like the Sarah Connor, but
Dude,
like definitely Terminator 2.
The thing that got me excited for Terminator Dark Fate, was the fact that Linda Hamilton was coming back. She is still one of my like iconic heroes of my childhood. Terminator 2, her and Ripley, that's who I wanted to be my like role models in life.
Shooting at one guy with the sniper rifle, and
so yeah, she's a badass. So we have 2 more Terminators in this. We have a female. So the main female lead, besides Linda Hamilton, she's kind of like part robot, but she's not like a full-fledged Terminator. I'm not really sure what that's all about. And then Gabriel Luna, his Terminator is kind of a mix between a liquid Terminator. So a lot of these ideas look like things we've seen in other Terminator movies, but I don't care. It looked great.
Yeah. So weren't they saying that this is just right after Terminator 2?
Well, obviously not, because Linda Hamilton's a little older. So I think this is supposed to take place probably 20 years or so. My guess, so my read on the trailer was there's a girl who's pregnant that one of the Terminators is trying to protect. And, Sarah Connor's like, come with me if you want to live, and I'm going to protect you. And she's like, why? And she's like, because I used to be you. So my guess is there's a new savior. Maybe they killed John Connor, and now there's somebody else who's going to rise up and try and stop the machine.
Yeah.
So what I gathered from the trailers, here's what I think happens. I think John Connor gets killed, but I think somebody else rises up to take his place. There's a new, basically, John Connor. And now the machines are going back again to try and kill that one. So basically, they're trying to start all over again.
Yeah.
And
this in the first try, but then it didn't really completely work.
Yeah, because I think the story is going to be that no matter what, people are always going to keep fighting, right? And so I think the theme of this movie is even if you kill one of us, another one, there will be somebody else who rises up and takes on Skynet, which I think is cool. I think you have to move away from the John Connor mythos a little bit if you want to keep expanding this universe.
The focus has been ever since Terminator 2, it's all just been about John Connor.
Well, and honestly, John Connor's always been kind of a whiny punk. I mean, John Connor was, even when he was an adult, nobody liked him. It was like the best John Connor was in Terminator 1 when he didn't say anything and he just had this big scar on his face.
Yeah,
but he was much better as a mystical Jesus figure instead of actually being a real character. But I don't know. I think it looked really cool. God,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can't. I just can't with the people who want to go.
I love the Terminators. Terminator 2 is probably one of my top 3 movies of all time. I have watched that movie. I could not tell you how many times I've watched Terminator 2. I mean, it was something I wore out the tape probably on the VHS.
Right. Dude, that's the first rated R movie I ever saw in theaters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mom took me. I talked her into taking me. I was so excited.
Man, I couldn't. I always had to wait until they came out on video.
Dun 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 dun. Dude, Terminator 2 is legit one of the top 10 best movies ever made.
Let me either watch it on HBO if it was a rated R movie, or he would buy the VHS and then I could just watch it whenever my mom wasn't around.
Listen, you know what, people? You can have your Godfathers. I'm gonna take my Terminator 2 as some of the best movies ever. I mean, yeah, I'm with you, man. I got it right now on iTunes. I just bought it the other day. It was 4K for $5. You want to watch it right now? Let's watch it together.
Give me your boots, your pants, and your shirt.
I will say it's kind of funny in Terminator 3 when he does the same thing, but he comes out with the pink glasses. Because I think he walked into a gay bar. He comes out with oh, this is great. You know what? Terminator 3 is underrated. It's not nearly as good as 2 or 1, but it's an underrated movie.
They were trying to hit all those high notes.
Well, once again, they casted the worst John Connor. But it had Claire Danes in it. She was really good.
That's true.
That movie was great. The problem with Terminator 3 was it was a little too slapsticky, and they killed Linda Hamilton, and they casted a really bad John Connor.
Yeah. And then, was that the one where it was about the wife or something was the one that the girlfriend that she becomes the wife or something?
Claire Danes becomes his wife and she's a total badass and Arnold's got a machine gun in a coffin and he's just smoking people.
like a cemetery or something
I
like
kind
that.
of want to watch that movie again now that I think about it. It wasn't that bad. It had the girl Terminator. That's probably why people hated it, because it had a girl Terminator, because people are sexist assholes.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. What do we got? I think that's all the news we got.
What's that?
I think it's time for From the Faithful 50, Ryan.
Oh, I do think it's time for From the Faithful 50.
I feel like you're totally unprepared.
But
in the meantime, I will sing picture songs.
Every Wednesday, I put up a post, and if you want to leave us any comment, we will discuss it. And this week, I did say Vita Bell from the summer. See, so we have our first question. Okay, Jeff, he says that his son uses his old cell phone to play games. At what age do you think it's time to give your kids a fully functional cell phone? Now we got my son is 11. We got him one of those relay devices, and you just like push the middle button and it kind of works like a walkie-talkie, but it's like this big around, and it worked just fine. And we said that we will get him his first full-fledged phone when he's 13.
Yeah, we don't have an age so much in my house. I got my daughter, my oldest, she's 10. We got her one of those watches that has, you can call like 10, 15 people on it.
Yeah.
And she can get messages, and, we can see where she's at and stuff. Part of the problem is obviously kids aren't responsible enough to not lose and break cell phones, and cell phones are really expensive. And not only that, I don't really want to give them that. I don't want to have them have to worry about that responsibility, honestly. I feel like you're setting your kid up for failure when you give them something that young, that expensive. But and not just that. I mean, I know you can put parental locks and everything on it, but like, I just don't want my kids having access to Facebook, and they don't need to Skype all their friends all the time, and
watching all their weird ass YouTube channels.
Yeah, so what we've done is we've kind of taken a healthy medium right in the middle. Is we've gotten them iPods, right? The iPod Touches that are like little cell phones, so they can use them in the house to talk. We let them talk to their friends, but we know they're on FaceTime with their friends, or we let them text their friends, or stuff like that. And we just don't allow them to. I have all the parental locks on there, so they don't they don't have Facebook or Snapchat or anything like that on it. But and not just that, they can call. They can, if they're here with a babysitter, they can call us from their iPhone or iPods, just like they could from a phone if there's a problem. Here's my thing: is like, if you have a kid, and I think it depends with each parent, right? Your kid's level of responsibility. I do think there's an inherent danger of giving these kids this much access this early. It's kind of nice to live in a world where they have to figure out what time it is and get home at a certain time, because they can't just call and argue, or, I don't know. I mean, I think there's, I look back of us not having phones, and we learned to survive without phones. I think.
Learn how to write a note and hand it to somebody.
I mean, obviously there's a safety element. We want to make sure our kids are safe at all times, but we survived without phones, and I think, you
don't have to get a phone just to have a GPS thing. Like you said, you just have to watch, and the watch has a GPS, and we got the relay, and the relay device has a GPS, and, it tracks, we can track, and like, oh, well, he's, it shows he's definitely at school, obviously, because, it shows like a thing, at the school. So I mean, you don't have to get full-fledged phones now.
And I think
kids to be able to have the freedom that they want, but then you can still be able to contact them, or they can call you if they really need you to.
Well, and we're with Verizon, and Verizon only charges us $5 a month to have her watch. So, she seems to like it for the most part.
It's only $10 a month for the relay.
I just don't want her to have the phone. I don't want her to have the responsibility of the phone. Yeah. I don't want my young kids already becoming addicted to phones. I mean, that's a hard part as it is.
Yeah, my 11-year-old, he has a lot of his friends have their own phones, and he said all they do, they just play games, and that's all they do on their phones. They just sit around at school and they play games, or they play Fortnite.
We had a slumber party here for my daughter's 10th birthday a little while ago, and we went upstairs, and like 6 of her 9 friends were literally just all looking at their phones. And so we confiscated everybody's phone. They weren't happy, but it was like, all right, you're staying here tonight, everyone cough off the phones, right? Because they just forget to do anything else. They forget how to have fun with other kids. I mean, we told my daughters when they can afford a phone themselves, they can get one. So whether they have a job or they have an allowance. Now, if you decide to give your kid a phone early, I don't know what the perfect age is. Every parent has to answer that for themselves. Like if your kid is really active and they really, they're gone. If you really feel like your kid needs to have a phone, then it's up to you to do it. I don't think there's a right or wrong age, but. Me personally, like you said, 13, it's definitely going to be in the teens. And my kid, I'm not letting my kid have any social media accounts until they're 18. So they can hate me later, but I don't care.
But if you want something for, just for your own peace of mind and just having, a GPS kind of tracker on them, but, they don't really know that you have a GPS.
Just inject a tracker right into their neck.
Yeah.
I say collars. Get them collars.
I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
They do for Alzheimer's people. You can get outfitted with a GPS tracking device if you have Alzheimer's.
No.
But there you go. All right. Thank you, Jeff, for your question. All right. Who else we got?
So we have another question from Evil Chris. He wants to know, with all the advancements in modern science, why haven't we cloned dinosaurs like they did in Jurassic Park? What could possibly go wrong?
That's a great question.
The answer is life finds a way.
So much. Partially because movies are not real, and the scientific advancements in those movies aren't a lot of them possible.
And we can only have Jeff Goldblum saving us from so many times.
That's also a valid point. Let's see.
All right.
And that wasn't evil, Chris. That was boring. I hate Solo because I'm a loser, Chris.
Yeah. Oh. Brian had a little more to add. I didn't know that. Right.
Yeah.
I
don't know because they've talked about they could clone dinosaurs.
Whatever happened to Dolly the sheep? Didn't they remember that was the big thing in the 90s where they cloned that one sheep and then they never cloned anything else?
Well, you gotta remember sheep is different. You have active living DNA right now. You're talking about taking DNA from something that's been extinct. I do think that they have the ability to. I think they were talking that they're starting to get closer to having that ability. But what could go wrong? I can tell you what could go wrong. Dinosaurs could reclaim the Earth and kill all of us.
Yeah. That's exactly what. All right. So we have Jeff had one more question. He says, summertime is right around the corner. Woo. What are some of your favorite ways for you and the family to cool off? So we paid $250 or something for a pool membership for the township pool that's near us, and you just go as much as you want all summer long. I think we're going to get that this year, just because I work a lot.
Yeah. Because I live in Washington, I have access to a lot of clean lakes and rivers, so we get to, and the ocean, the sound. You can go on boats and stuff. I got some friends who got boats. Occasionally we go out and go swim in the water. Most of the time, though, we do things like the kids have the trampoline. We put the sprinkler under the trampoline, so when they bounce on it, all the water flies up in the air. So that's pretty fun.
Yes.
We a lot of times get slip and slides, so everyone be on the lookout for Brian here doing slip and slides with the kids. It'd be pretty cool.
Growing up, my parents had a condo that was right on the Columbia River, so we would go over past Wenatchee down toward when you're going toward Quincy, and then there's a condominium complex down there that had a whole bunch of condos and stuff, and that's where I pretty much spent every summer of my life. If I could, that's where I would go every summer.
We have a real bad water park around here that we go to occasionally. If nothing else, just to see people with really bad tattoos. Wild Waves, fool.
Wild Waves, yes.
So we got Wild Waves, so you see a bunch of broke people in real bad bathing suits. 1 year.
Into the giant wade pool because it just looked like they were just barf.
Oh, yeah. 1 year, there was a couple girls who decided that they would just wear their bras instead of a bathing suit. That was cool.
Yeah.
Not cool. But yeah, lots of bad tattoos, tons of people wearing white t-shirts. That's always fun. Just take it off, man. Bear it all. But honestly, I think the biggest thing that my family does to stay cool off in the summer, is stay in our house because we have central air. Woohoo!
Yeah. And for me, when the AC units are all working, my house, very nice.
Nice.
When it's not, it's 95 degrees or 90% humidity here on the East Coast. So.
Not on the West Coast. Hallelujah. And I also eat a lot of ice cream because that's what I like to eat. So don't you fucking judge me.
Thank you, Jeff. That was a very good question. That was all we had.
All right. There we go. All right, what do we got left? We got recommendations. All right, well, before we get out of here, I think we got a couple quick recommendations we'd like to let you guys know about. Ryan, would you like to go first?
So I finished the first season of Doom Patrol. They had the final episode of the season was last week. It is, I'm going to say it is my new favorite superhero.
It's pretty good.
TV show.
I heard like the last episode, this Street had an orgasm.
Yeah, a street has an orgasm. And, I mean, come on. Flex Mentallo is probably one of my new favorite people.
I have not ran into Flex Mentallo. I'm still a few episodes back. You know what's funny is like I don't even, people ask what Doom Patrol's about, and I really can't even explain it. It is almost an unexplainable show.
Yeah, it is unexplainable. You just have to watch it.
It is so good, though.
Just so all over the place, but it's all over the place, but it's coherent.
But in a good way, yeah. It's nuts. It's absolutely insane.
But yes, I love every single episode of it. So Doom Patrol on the DC Universe app. Alan Tudyk is one of the greatest villains, and he's hilarious, and just the way like he does his laugh, like you can tell he's like doing like DC animated Joker.
Yeah,
kind of like
he crushes it. His character is so great. I love it. All right. Yeah. So, Doom Patrol. Check out Doom Patrol on the DC Universe app. Well worth the $70 for a year and a half subscription. And you get a lot of comic books. So, all right, cool. My recommendation this week is I just started watching. I've been hearing that it's really good. I wasn't going to watch it, but I was going to maybe check it out at some point because it looked kind of like a documentary, like a documentary drama. And I was like, it looks all right. But people were just raving about it. So me and my wife started watching Chernobyl this week on HBO. So it's a 5-episode miniseries. We are the first 2 episodes in, and oh my god, it is absolutely amazing. It is one of the best disaster movies. So it's set up like a 5-hour movie. It feels like a movie. And it's about Chernobyl. It's about when Chernobyl melted down in 1986 and the fallout about it. So the first 2 episodes are really about the disaster itself and what happened that night. And the rest of the series is kind of about the cover-up and how it happened and how everybody covered it up and what really, it's terrifying. Like you watch it, it's almost like you remember those old, like, in the, like, late 80s and early 90s, they used to make those, like, horror, like you get a flu outbreak, right? But it was like a horror show almost. Like people would somehow turn into zombies or some weird thing, right? And you'd be locked inside of a building while you had to get out. That's kind of the way this feels. It's like this super tense, very like horror undertones disaster movie that's just incredible, and you just can't believe what you're watching, but you know it's true, and it's even scarier because you know that like there are still nuclear power plants out there.
Yeah, and didn't they like not tell people?
Yes, they did not tell people. So, like, there's a part, without spoiling anything, I mean, obviously you could look up the movie, and I don't know how accurate everything is, but it feels like they've done their homework, and it definitely feels like this is not some just loosey-goosey adaptation. But there's a part where they talk about, I think they call them Rikers. It's basically like, like the Geigers, like the radiation levels. And so their devices that they have, the max output is like 3.69 or something, which is a lot. They said, so when you're hitting 3.69 Riker on their Riker scales or whatever they have, their little Geiger scales.
Yeah.
It's like getting 400 chest x-rays all at once.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a lot of radiation. And so it's leaking, and so there's an actual, like, the core is open. Like, guys are looking down, and you could see the nuclear core spinning. And, like, I mean, the nuclear reactor, it's open, and it's just shooting into the atmosphere. And so everyone, they keep reporting, because their machines can only go to 3.76 or whatever, They're like, oh, that's what it is. That's not so bad. And they're like, no, the machines keep breaking. So they get out another machine that goes to 1,000 and it immediately breaks. And then they get another machine that goes to 250 and it keeps maxing out at 250. Right? So, like, they are shooting thousands of these grams of radiation into the atmosphere. Like, there's there's graphite that they wrap the core around, literally just laying out in the open because it explodes, and, like, people are picking it up and, like, their hands are melting. Like, it is horrifying. But it's just, I just couldn't stop watching it. Like, if I would have started watching it, like, on a Saturday morning, I don't know if me and the wife would have left the couch until it was over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's that good. We watched the first 2 episodes last night, and if I wasn't recording this with you tonight, we'd be watching it right now. So,
we were going to start watching it, and then my wife wanted to watch the Beto O'Rourke documentary instead. So, probably a good thing, because I probably would not have. I was already late enough.
Yes, well, I would highly recommend everybody stop what you're doing. Check out Chernobyl. It's on HBO. I think all 5 episodes are available. I think it just ended, or if not, the last episode's maybe this weekend. But highly recommend it. Chernobyl. Check it out now. It's really good. So, all right, Ryan. I think that's all we got. So before we get out of here, we're going to do some shout-outs. But before we do the shout-outs, why don't you tell everyone where they can find us?
Well, if you would like to find us, you can find us on YouTube at the Geek Dad Report and Twitter at the Geek Dad Report, where Brian is Brian West 53 and I am Big Bruiser. We're on Facebook at the Geek Dad Report and on iTunes. So make sure you like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up and all the love that you want to give us. And if you don't want to give us love, just, I guess you could leave that stuff there. We might respond. Who knows? But if you got 5 friends, tell them, and just spread the word. That's all we ask for. And then when your friend signs up, you get to listen to their name get shouted out.
Yeah. So first up, I would like to say, I'd like to give a very special shout out to Brent Christensen. He directly messaged me, wanted to let us know how much he loves the show and couldn't wait till it comes back. He also wanted me to give Courtney and John a big kiss from him. So, that's for you, Courtney and John. You can thank BC for that. So, thank you, Brent. Thanks for reaching out. It's always cool when people interact, and it's always nice to know that people appreciate the show. So, and plus, we like to know that we are entertaining you guys, and so it keeps us doing this because
that's what we're doing this for. I mean, yeah, it is just Brian and I just basically talking to each other for almost an hour every week. But I mean, we hope that you guys enjoy it.
We do. We really do. I mean, Ryan doesn't give a damn because he's a heartless bastard. But I care.
Do what I can.
Okay, let's see here. What else we got? We got Joseph Bacon has subscribed to us.
Ooh.
I mean, Joseph Bacon, your name is not only scrumptious and tasty, it's also a delightful treat.
Yes.
I am, I don't know what do they call us? Talent? We're not talent. We're creators. As a creator on YouTube, I am proud that the bacon follows us.
Yeah. Anything
Joseph Bacon.
Yeah, anything bacon related, I am 100% behind.
100,000% behind. All right, what else we got here? I did not organize these very well, so I apologize. Ryan Stahl, do something funny.
It wasn't too many.
Lucian. I'm going to totally butcher that. All right, I'm going to say this right. Lucian Corvinus, son of Hecate.
That sounds awesome.
That flows right off the tongue.
Yes.
But he is an avid commenter, so, or she, I guess technically it could be a she. Even though it does say son, we don't discriminate here. Thank you for subscribing. And Lucius has already been an avid commentator, so we love people who leave us lots of comments. Any advice, any critiques,
anything
as long as they're just not a big jerk, we love. And so thank you. Thank you for subscribing to us. Thank you for being part of the show. And we appreciate it.
Yeah. And we hope that you come back next week and that you let us know what you think.
I think I have one more. Let me see if I can find it.
What are you looking at?
I'm trying. I swear there was somebody else who subscribed. I don't want to leave anybody out.
Well, we can always pick them up next week.
I would like to give a special shout out to Anson McDonald, huge commentator on our Game of Thrones, avid Game of Thrones fan.
Probably leaving at least 5 to 10 comments on every single Game of Thrones post.
Yes, and so we really appreciated that. It was always fun talking to you about Game of Thrones. Hopefully you will continue to hang out with us on the main show. If you do not, I guess we understand. But we wish you would. We hope you do. And then, you know what? I can't find anybody else. God. It's because of all Anson's comments. It's just taking up my entire notifications feed.
That's just what he's good for, Brad.
Beach 8.
Just swarming all over.
Beach 8 left a comment. I don't know if they're a new subscriber.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. That don't want to wait too long. Next time, I promise, if you subscribed, I will do a better job of making sure that I file it properly. But if I missed you, send us a comment and be like, hey, I just subscribed in the last couple weeks. Where the fuck is my shout-out? Well, you know what? You'll get a super shout-out.
Yeah.
Next week.
It's all Brian's fault.
It's definitely not. It's all Ryan's fault. But on that note, thanks. You guys are awesome. It's time for us to get the fuck out of here. And until next week, stay awesome.
And stay nerdy, everyone.
And watch Chernobyl. It's really good.
Oh, yeah. And Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
Ah.